Fyodor Dostoevsky, one of the most profound voices in literature, born in 1821 on the outskirts of Moscow. Dostoyevsky's early life was shaped by a unique blend of comfort and exposure to suffering. His father, a doctor, worked in a charitable hospital for the impoverished. This meant that young Dostoyevsky grew up surrounded by the harsh realities of life, experiences that would deeply influence his writing. His family, devout Orthodox Christians, nurtured in him a strong religious faith, a belief that would only grow stronger throughout his turbulent life. At 12, Dostoyevsky was sent to school in Moscow and later in St. Petersburg. Although he received a good education, he often felt out of place among his wealthier, more aristocratic classmates. Tragedy struck while he was away at school. His father died under mysterious circumstances, possibly at the hands of his own serfs, a shadow that would haunt Dostoyevsky. After graduating, Dostoyevsky worked briefly as an engineer. However, he was soon drawn into a life of gambling, a habit that would cause him immense suffering throughout his life. In his late 20s, Dostoyevsky fell in with a group of radical writers. He wasn't deeply involved, but when the government cracked down on dissent, he was caught in the dragnet. Sentenced to death, Dostoyevsky stood before a firing squad. Just as the soldiers were about to fire, a last-minute reprieve arrived. His sentence was commuted to 4 years of brutal forced labor in Siberia. Only after his return from Siberia did Dostoyevsky truly begin to establish himself as a writer. His works, dark, violent, tragic, would forever change the literary landscape. Dostoyevsky's books, such as Notes from the Underground, Crime and Punishment, The Idiot, and the Brothers Karamazov, are rich with lessons on the human condition. In Notes from the Underground, Dostoyevsky introduces us to a man who rails against the world, revealing a truth we all share: the strange love we have for our own suffering. Dostoyevsky reminds us that suffering is inevitable. No matter how we try to improve our lives, be it through wealth, power, or social change, pain is an intrinsic part of the human experience. In Crime and Punishment, we follow Raskolnikov, an impoverished intellectual who convinces himself that he can rise above morality. But after committing murder, he's consumed by guilt, revealing a fundamental truth: no one can escape their conscience. Dostoyevsky's genius lies in his ability to delve into the complexities of human nature, showing us that beneath the facade of even the most monstrous characters, there lies a tender, frightened soul. In The Idiot, Dostoyevsky explores the idea of living with pure gratitude, a lesson he learned from his near-death experience. The protagonist's innocence and love for the world make him appear foolish in a world driven by selfish desires. Finally, in The Brothers Karamazov, Dostoyevsky confronts the limits of human goodness. Through the story of the Grand Inquisitor, he argues that humans are not capable of living up to the lofty ideals set by Christ, an idea that challenges us to accept our own flaws with grace. Dostoyevsky died in 1881, having lived a life full of suffering and struggle. Yet, through his works, he succeeded in conveying a profound truth: that life is inherently full of pain, but within that pain, there is a deep and redemptive beauty. In a world obsessed with perfection and progress, Dostoyevsky's work remains a vital reminder of our limitations, urging us to find compassion in our shared human suffering.